everybody, and welcome to Row 60, a Georgia football podcast. My name is Clark Gaines. Joining me today, as always, Adam Thornton.
Boom!
And this is show number 68. We're 10-0, people.
Crank it up about 5 notches, Clark. 10-0, baby. Double digits. 10-0 again for the third straight year, man. 2 more, and we hit that 12-0 perfection for a third straight regular season. Unreal.
Unbelievable.
Unreal. No, unreal. Like, as a kid growing up, I thought, man, you think I just dreamed of the day seeing Georgia go 12-0 in the regular season just one time in my life. You know, and then hopefully win a national championship in the postseason, SEC championship, right? But just going unscathed in the regular season, man. And now that we're on the doorstep of potentially going 12-0 again for a third straight year, it's absolutely unreal, Clark. Getting through the gauntlet we talked about a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
But big one this week.
We are, what, 3/4 of the way through this gauntlet? If you want to...
we are.
Assuming that you're putting Georgia Tech in the gauntlet, which I'm not really. I think this is kind of the end of the gauntlet.
This is it.
This upcoming Saturday.
Going for 4 for 4.
4 for 4. Dogs traveling to Knoxville. To the erector set, that is Neyland Stadium.
Yes, it does look like a giant erector set. That was constructed in 1930.
Yes. I'm convinced there are dead bodies in that stadium somewhere.
I think there actually is a story about that.
Right.
Like being dead. Did we discuss this? Did we have a history lesson or talk about a ghost story or something?
A couple of years ago.
I don't remember I forgot where that was. But yeah, there's like old classrooms like on the side. It's an eerie feel.
It's weird.
It's an eerie feel when you get up there on that Tennessee River, man. But yeah, especially, you know, Clark, you and I, we've grown up going to Georgia-Tennessee games in Knoxville, and it'd be late September, early October, right? So now this is the second time it's going to be late in the year, late November, man. You know, that wind coming off that Tennessee River. It's a heck of an atmosphere, man. Heck of an atmosphere.
I guess we should save this, but I do remember something about the Tennessee River. When you said that, and the Vol Navy and how they all do this stuff, apparently, I'll just talk about it right now. Apparently, some Tennessee guy sold a spot on the river to a big Georgia guy, and he's going to bring his yacht up there and have all these Georgia fans in the midst of the Vol Navy.
Really?
And people are pissed. I mean, they're bitter about that.
So you mean like we got a fleet of Georgia fans coming up the river. So we got our own dog Navy coming up, man.
Well, there's at least one boat that I know of. And like I said, people are bitter about it.
Oh, so we could have got out there in like an old, 1995 pontoon, baby, and just cruised around the Georgia flag, got out there with them. Is that what we're talking about?
Maybe.
We could break out the pontoon.
I mean, it's public water, right?
Well, I mean, I reckon so. Yeah, maybe we should pull the pontoon up there and get out there with them, and kind of rub elbows with the big guys, with our pontoon in there around all those yachts and whatnot.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. I'm all for Georgia fans infiltrating the Vol Navy.
And I think that's going to happen, especially after Dogs saw what we saw this past Saturday, 52-17 beat down over the Ole Miss Rebels. Boom! Man, we're going to recap that game on this episode.
I can't wait.
And then we are going to talk about last week's games. Lots of good games that turned out about the way we expected.
Yeah.
This week's games are terrible. I mean, they're just very few.
Bad slate, Carl.
They're really bad slate. A lot of no-name teams playing these bigger name teams, so not much to talk about this week, but we'll still do a pick 'em. We have some trivia, Georgia-Tennessee trivia, a Georgia-Tennessee preview at the very end, so make sure to stick around. It's going to be a fun episode. I've got to dig down deep, as you can probably tell. My voice is just shot.
Dig down deep, man.
Yep.
Just find it, Carl, because this is a big episode. Big rivalry, big episode, meaningful football being played from here on out.
That's true. Yep. Big Game Eminem is on the set.
Big Game Eminem hadn't left the set.
So is our mustard bottle.
Yes.
So is our Champion of Life brick.
Yes.
And Adam, so is our Georgia Till I Die Peach State Pride hat.
Yes, man. Let me talk about that Peach State Pride. As you've seen the past 3 years, I always wear a Peach State Pride hat on this show. Great fitting hat for me. I love it. So I'm sticking with my old Peach State Pride hat today to have on my noggin because it's just good luck the past 3 years, right? I mean, we hadn't lost a regular season game, but yeah, check out right here. We got the Big Game cookie jar modeling this new Peach State Pride hat. It's got the classic peach logo on the back as well. Georgia Till I Die, man. A good hat. So please go over there and check out the hats. I'm a big fan. I've talked about the Gameday polos, but I'm a big fan of the Peach State Pride hats, and they have what I like about them, Clark, they have a style for whatever your style is, right?
Yeah.
So the trucker hat or something like that as well. So you know, whatever you like to represent, man, you can find it in a good way at Peach State Pride and the hat department, like everything else, man. So I wanted to showcase that today. We did. So
we had a good idea. Adam was like, man, so we got these hats. They sent them to us, and we were like, man, we need to put one on the Bulldog, the cookie jar.
It looks good on
it.
Them.
Does.
Yeah, it shows it that. So so I mean, it's a sharp hat. It's a sharp hat, but
sure is.
A lot of sharp stuff over there. Christmas is coming, man. Think of your loved ones and get them some Peach State Pride gear. Go visit them at peachstatepride.com or visit the store.
Do it.
Woo! Love it.
Let's move on to the trip and the game day atmosphere out to Athens.
Yes, sir.
It was a weird feeling, Adam, because we actually left at what, like 3:45 from Franklin County, and we rolled into town, Athens, about 4:45. It felt a little weird, but it was, as we were going in to Athens and into the stadium, you could just tell there was an energy about
there was a buzz.
The game.
There was a buzz, man. You knew it. We didn't tailgate this go around because Mother Nature kind of stirred us from it. I mean, I know a lot of people brave the elements, and then too, you know, I had to make a grown up decision to be a father, man. You know, and not leave my child in the wee hours of the morning, and my wife, you know, Kelsey, just to look. So I had to make a mature, grown up decision and not go sit out in the freezing rain, and I did. And I did.
Yeah.
Pat on the back to me.
Good
Pat
job,
on the back to me. Thank you. You know. So, but anyway, no, it was a great time. And like you said, Clark, when we got there, it was rocking. It was ready to go. I mean, I talked to you, man, when we were walking by the, you know, kind of the little promenade area right there where the bookstore is and everything. That we're like, man, you could just tell it's gonna be electric. It's gonna be electric. You kind of just tell the buzz and the feel. I'm not going to use the word vibe because I hate the word vibe with a passion, but the feel and kind of the energy that's around right there. So I mean, it was good. It was good. Loved it.
As we were walking in too, I noticed there was a haze, like a fog, over the stadium, and it was rainy and it was cold. Not the best elements for a Georgia football game.
That's football weather, baby.
Yeah, but it felt good.
It's great elements right there, man, because that's what you want to see. I want my football games to be played in overcast, cold conditions, man.
Yeah.
That is right there is when it just hits you and it gets six in your bones like it's SEC football, man. It just cranks the adrenaline level up a little bit. And hey, I mean, here's the deal. I mean, if you go to these Georgia games, you need to have an adrenaline rush, Clark. I mean, it's got to be a natural high that other people would absorb other recreational substances or something, you know, to get. But like us, naturally at Georgia football games, man, we get it.
Yeah. So
anyway, it warms you up from the inside out, right? When you get that high and that adrenaline kick, that's why I like that cold weather, because it ain't gonna be cold in it, man, because we're gonna be creating our own heat, Clark.
You know, Adam, I don't know if there were many people who were sober at that football game the other night. And I mean, you're right. We get a natural high, and that warms us up, just that natural high. But some people relied on a little Jack D and other
we had one in front of us, actually, Clark.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he got escorted out. It was quite a scene, man.
Wow.
Quite a scene. He was flopping on people in front and everything, and it was wild. I thought one of our own, Miss Jessica Harrell, was going to knock him out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. Because he was coming down the line right on row 58, right in front of us. It's just ridiculous, just belligerent, just causing a ruckus, man. And I was proud of our section. We got the boy out, and GBI came and got him. And,
wow.
And he got a nice little chauffeur out of town, I guess. So had some accommodations, probably not at the Indigo Hotel Saturday night, somewhere else, Athens Clark County Penitentiary.
Oh my gosh.
Potentially, but yeah. So anyway, it was a good time, good atmosphere.
Absolutely.
Everything.
Well, it was also good seeing Jim and Anne Marie Beardsworth from Rhode Island.
Yes,
clap.
Yes,
clap.
Also, man, a row 60 listener who went to the game with us. Me and my wife Kelsey's cousin Dagan.
That's right.
Was there too,
Dagan
man. And it brought us some good luck. But yes, going back to Jim and Anne Marie, we saw them and met them before the SEC championship game last year, man. So, hey, how many points did Georgia score against LSU last year? 50.
50. Wow.
So now how many times? 52. So it's like, hey, when Jim and Anne Marie roll into town, baby, that offense is going to roll. We're going to hang a 50 burger up on the board. So we need to go ahead and probably get a collective up on getting Jim and Anne Marie down to these games, man, where our offense can hang half 100 on these folks.
Well, he scared me. Mr. Jim did. He said, the last time they were in Sanford was 2019 versus South Carolina.
And we just kind of, when he said that, we all just kind of went,
Oh, boy.
There was a silence.
Yes, there was a gasp.
But then you go like, we're going to change that today. That's right. We're going to get the good momentum going back in your favor, you know.
And also, I don't know if you saw this.
Excuse me.
They got on the Jumbotron mid game.
Did they?
It was really cool.
No, that's awesome, man.
And shout out to Gannon Fields, if he's listening. I'm pretty sure we saw you yet again. I don't know how he makes it. I don't know how he makes it every single game with his Rose 60 hat, but he does. He finds a way.
That's awesome, man. So, love that.
Good stuff. Yeah. The crowd, I will say this last thing. The crowd was electric.
Talk about that.
Yes. The crowd was electric. I would say is equally as loud as Tennessee was last year about on the first drive. It did die down the more the more we scored throughout the game.
What's the loudest you ever heard at Sanford Stadium?
I mean, there have been several. 2013 LSU was one.
The
last drive.
That was loud.
2017 Mississippi State, the flea flicker on the field, I'm going to tell you.
I bet it was deafening.
It was insane.
Yeah.
Tennessee, third down last year, several of them.
Notre Dame in 19.
Notre Dame in 19 was pretty loud. I don't know.
I tell you the loudest I've heard. The blackout was loud, of course, against Auburn in 07 when they were but the loudest I've ever heard it, and I still think it was as 2004 LSU. After we lost to them 2 times in 2003.
Right.
That revenge game against Saban, beating them 45-16.
Yeah.
And that was electric. The old boy nailed it on the 1-inch line, taking the kickoff. But anyway, I'm getting away. But yeah, just the consistency, I think, though, Clark, of what we've seen the past couple of years of these big games of Sanford just getting loud, that is truly now one of, I think, in the top 5 in college football most intimidating places to play.
Yeah, I think people outside of the Georgia football bubble aren't going to say that. They don't like Georgia enough.
They should.
They should.
Well, I watched the replay of what the game looked like through the television broadcast.
Right.
You know, and what the folks around the world were seeing when they tuned into ESPN to watch old Kirk and Chris deliver the analysis of the game, I should say, you know, call the play-by-play and whatnot. And the stadium looked good. The crowd looked good. The lights looked good. The infrastructure around the stadium looked good. And the campus and it just made me proud, man. It made me swell up with pride because, you know, you notice some of these, like, maybe Big Ten schools and these places you've never been before, and you kind of want to look at the stadium and everything. Georgia and Sanford looked dang good last night, man. I don't know how in the world that you know, somebody who's never been there and not be just dang impressed by that and what Georgia has to offer, man. And, you know, just to lead at every single level, every single facet of this program.
Yeah.
Right now.
My one thing I don't like about Sanford at this time of the season, they have to paint the field green. It's not a very natural looking green. Also, one more thing. I wish there were just a few more lights on the field because it is pretty dark compared to other places.
That's true.
I wish it was just a little brighter on the field.
Yeah. It could. We can illuminate it a little bit more. That's right.
But I do appreciate the lights and the LEDs and the way they flash and stuff. It was awesome.
We need to add more bathrooms too, Clark.
Oh, do we?
Yeah. I went. I really don't ever go to the bathroom during halftime, but this particular night I needed to. So you went, and you know, anytime there's a standstill, stagnant line going into the men's facility, man,
it's not good.
That's not good. That should never really be a case.
Right,
you know what I mean? The way the good Lord created it for a man, it should never be a case of that ever happening. I mean, it shouldn't. Period. At anywhere. So I went to one. I was like, no, man, I'm not waiting in that line. And then I went to another one, and I was like, you know, it's not ideal,
right?
But we're just gonna have to do it, right? So I think we need to add a few more places. You know,
would it help to have some porta potties out there?
Why not? It's not gonna hurt.
Are you above going into a porta potty and doing business?
Absolutely not above that, man. Absolutely not.
Oh my gosh.
Just other. I think that's something we could do. Concession stand lines were. I guess we hadn't got there yet, but just some stuff. Yeah.
I was about to say, I mean, the lines for the bathrooms were long. What about the concession stands? Give us the weekly concession stands report.
Wait, first, though, before we get to that, do you want to talk about the BMW performance of the karaoke camp?
Sure.
Just basically, just call it like it is. They listened to us, and that was done at the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Where there was no pivotal moments in the game.
I feel like we told the people, the listeners, to maybe write a strongly worded letter to the higher ups of the Georgia football facilities, managers, and those kinds of people, and tell them to stop playing the karaoke cam and ultimate performance in pivotal moments in the game. So they did wait last night till the fourth quarter.
That's right.
When we had the game
That's right.
in hand.
That's right.
Before they started bringing out that junk. So
love it.
Anyway. All right. Now for the weekly Concession Stands report, Adam.
Hit it, baby. Woo! All right, man. I'll talk about my experience first, and then we got a full, nice, detailed concession stand report to throw out there. But yeah, Kelsey and I and we went to the concession stands at halftime to get a pretzel and a bottle of water. We went to a different concession stand line. I love the grab and go system, man. You could really just get very efficient, a bunch of cashiers to check you out, stick the card in there, or they had this new deal where you could tap the card. My card don't tap.
Adam,
I got to stick the chip in.
We've had the tappable cards for years. Have you not noticed that?
I've just gone from swiping it to the chip.
Insert. Yeah.
And I don't know what in the world a tap card is. Like that, but you must have to have a certain amount. Well, I must not have the level of money in the bank that you got to have to get one of those bad boys.
Adam, they will gladly send you one of those nowadays.
So there's not a certain dollar figure you need to get to where you know you're prestigious. You're walking around with a tappable card. Because if we did, if it went through that, we'd still be sliding the bad boy.
No. They want to make it as easy as possible for you to spend money.
No, I've never seen anybody tap a card before at a gas station, at McDonald's, wherever. I've just inserted the chip, man, and in my chip, it always gets dirty, so I always have to get my shirt and kind of scrub on the chip. Gosh. And then we insert it again, and it goes, burn, bad reading. I pull it out, and I scrub it again. I say, excuse me, ma'am, we got it this time. And it's ding, it approved, and we go on. So, no, I've never seen a tappable card. But anyway, it was a great thing I think of. You got a nice bucket there to grab your water, and you grab your item, and you grab and go, in and out. And efficiency at its best. Love that and everything. But yeah, so for a better report, we have one coming from Statesboro, Georgia tonight.
Nice.
So,
okay. Let's hear it.
From Zach and Whitney Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
Our friends down there. And after listening to y'all talk about bull peanuts, is what Whitney said this week or last week, she had to get her some.
Okay.
So here's the concession stand report from Section 317 from Zach and Whitney Murphy. Hot dog and bull peanuts ahead of the third quarter. Is there a more American game day food combo, Clark?
Ooh, I don't think so.
I don't think so, no. All right, here it is. Hot dog. I'm a big hot dog guy, right? Was really good, per usual. A solid 9 out of 10, especially since when I ordered it, they were extra fresh and hot.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good. We probably need to know when for future games when this hot dog was ordered at the time of the game, but we could get that out. The people didn't expect, maybe that's where they might go timestamp it,
Yes.
of when to go get a hot dog. So yes, hot dog was good, 9 out of 10, great. Boiled peanuts in a good basic styrofoam cup, no less. Yes, I agree. Don't need it in a sealed bag that contains all the juice. It's just not good. You got to have them in a good large jumbo styrofoam cup. So said that they were 7 of 10, Clark. They were good. Some of the first ones we tried tasted like they maybe weren't boiled long enough, but they redeemed themselves. They were hot and appropriately salty, and overall were a perfect company. I can't see.
Wait.
Or read.
Accompanient. I can't say this word either. It accompanied the rainy, cold, misty weather of Sanford Stadium.
It complimented it well.
Compliment. Yeah, we're just going to say that. Oh, my gosh. That's stumped us both.
Love it. To the rainy, cold, misty weather of Sanford Stadium. As a great day, as always, to be a Georgia Bulldog. Go Dogs. And that was it. From Zach and Whitney Murphy.
Nice.
Statesboro, like Georgia. That. Great report. Love boiled peanuts. Love
So wait a minute.
Dogs,
they did get the boiled peanuts in a styrofoam cup. Is that what they said?
Yes.
Wow.
That's what she said. So
I didn't realize that.
I didn't realize that either. So we'll have to figure that out and report it. So I love that, man. Love boiled peanuts. Love everything about that. Man, I really want boiled peanuts now.
Well, I didn't have any kind of experience, but I did, like, literally, we got nothing at the concession stands, which rarely happens. But we did walk by a hot chocolate stand. But be careful, people, because I've walked by that same stand before. It has lights, like Christmas lights, but they serve Swiss Miss hot chocolate, and I'm not a fan of Swiss Miss hot chocolate.
Water.
It's just water.
Chocolate, hot chocolate. The good Lord, Santa Claus and everybody intended for hot chocolate to be mixed with milk.
Yeah, exactly.
And that just reminds me that I paid $8 for a souvenir hot chocolate mug and forgot to freaking bring the souvenir cup to the house.
Last night?
Yeah, the thermos thing.
Really?
I did.
Oh, man.
Did you get it? Talking to my wife here. No, you didn't get it. So it's just somebody got it.
Wow.
Nah. Anyway,
One of those kids from the students.
$8 hot chocolate right there. Then with no, bring a gift home souvenir.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
$8, man.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, not real good hot chocolate. Like you said, it was definitely water and Swiss hot chocolate, not a good blend with some good whole milk in it, right?
Yeah. Interesting. Well,
Like I like milk and hot chocolate. Like my hot chocolate to be mixed with milk.
me too.
Got to be.
Me too. That's the only way to have it. Yep.
Boom! I'm fired up. I am juiced.
Oh, yeah.
Juiced, man. What are we talking about next?
Clark's fun facts. Here we go. Let's go to some football
Let's
stuff.
Let's go.
All right. If Georgia wins this Saturday, Adam, we will have gone 3 straight seasons without losing to an SEC East opponent.
Woo! Man.
That's fun to think about.
It'd be 3 straight. Yeah.
Good gosh almighty.
3 straight. Yeah. That's right.
I mean, and I was thinking.
That's amazing, man.
I was thinking, have we lost an SEC East road game in the past 4 seasons? I know we lost in Jacksonville in 2020. We lost on the road to Alabama, but they're not an SEC East opponent. Who was the third loss we had that season?
Wait. In 2020?
Really?
It was just 2 times.
It was
man.
2 times?
There's just Alabama and Florida.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is right.
About got beat by Cincinnati, but
Well, we haven't lost an SEC East road game in 4 years.
We have not lost a SEC road game since LSU in 2018, correct?
No, we lost in Alabama. We lost in Alabama 20.
That's right. 20. Yeah, that's right. Sorry. I don't count that year. I just don't
you
count
just throw it out.
I just throw that year out the window.
It's got a big
That's
apostrophe.
Right. I forgot about that.
Apostrophe.
That was a
What is
miserable
it?
night.
Asterisk.
But yeah, I mean, that's amazing, man. But yeah, as far as SEC East, no, I cannot remember the last time we lost in the SEC East opponent stadium.
It's been a while.
Been a long time. Wait. I mean, truly think about this real quick, Clark. I mean, it's worse. Has Kirby Smart ever lost to the SEC East opponent stadium? Think about it. In 16.
Wait a minute here.
In 16, who'd you lose to? You lost to Vanderbilt at home. Ole Miss on the road.
You lost to Tech.
Tech at home, and then who was the fourth one?
Tennessee at home.
Tennessee at home.
Yep.
Did we say that? So it was Tech, Tennessee at home, Vanderbilt, and Ole Miss away. No SEC East on the road that year. 17 SEC West, Auburn on the road. 18 SEC West, LSU on the road. 19 SEC East at home.
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
And then there you go. He has never lost.
Unbelievable.
In the Kirby Smart era, we have never lost to a SEC East opponent on the road.
Wow. We just came up with a fun fact.
But that right there, yeah.
That evolved from like 3 straight seasons without losing to an SEC East opponent to never. Kirby Smart has never lost to an SEC East opponent in their stadium.
That's right.
That gives you hope right there for this week for sure. Also, Georgia, and I'm going to keep stating this fact until this streak is broken. Georgia improves its winning streak to 27 straight games.
Say it again.
Georgia improves its streak to 27 straight games.
Woo,
Unfreaking believable.
Man.
Gosh, man. I just sat there the other night in the 4th quarter, and I just looked around, and I just absorbed it and soaked it in, Adam.
Yeah,
I know we do that.
yeah.
We keep doing that, and we need to keep doing that because it is
That's right.
important. These days will come to an end. Maybe not soon, but, I mean, there will be a point where Georgia gets beat. I don't want that to be anytime soon. I don't want it to be this upcoming week. I don't think it will be, but you never know. So,
Yeah. I don't think it will be this week, Clark. But you never know. But like we said, we're going to enjoy it. We're going to enjoy how elite of a performance and elite of an environment we got to enjoy. Either if you were on your couch at the house or you were in Sanford Stadium Saturday night. And I mean, beating the top 10 team 52-17.
man.
I mean, the Ole Miss just wasn't a team that was even like ranked 22nd or not ranked. They were number 9 in the nation, Clark. Number 9 by the college football playoff poll, man. And Lost 52-17 in Sanford Stadium. I mean,
we ran them out of the stadium.
The domination was unreal. And I did not see it coming, but just pleasantly surprised by it. And it's amazing where we're at, and there's stuff to talk about it.
Right. Let's start with Georgia's offense in this dominating game. 611 total yards offensively, 25 first downs. We went 5 for 8 on third downs. It's over 50%. I mean, just good stuff, man. I mean, we moved the ball so effectively. And I think you have to give the game ball to the offensive linemen. They absolutely dominated this game and are truly the MVPs. I mean, I was so stinking impressed by how they played. And I do think there's a couple things here. First of all, getting Amarius Mims back is gigantic. It's huge. Secondly, I don't know if Ole Miss's defense was what it was chalked up to be.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying they were like elite by any means, but they were decent.
Well, they had good numbers, right?
Right. They did have good
numbers on paper, and numbers don't lie. I mean, there was some good stuff as far as what led the SEC in sacks.
Mm-hmm.
And from the first drive, Carson Beck had all day to throw the football, and running lanes were open. And I texted you and said, our offensive line's just stoning them, man. And it didn't let up the whole entire game, man. We talked about it. It's getting depth on that offensive line, getting experience. And now what you have developed, Clark, and I think for the whole entire team, we talked about this earlier, man, usually you say this time of year, everybody's banged up, and they are. That's the truth. And Georgia is banged up. You know, we talking about Humphrey's injured, Pop's injured, got some of that lingering. But I would say, Clark, that Georgia is the healthiest it's been overall the whole year now going into week 12.
Yeah. It is bizarre to think about.
Yeah.
But that's true. I mean, you get Mims back.
I mean, it's
That's
amazing,
big.
man.
You get Brock back. You get a healthy lad back. You get a healthy Kendall back.
And a healthy Dejon.
Yep.
Dejon.
Yep.
Yeah. I had a good run there before I butchered his name, but I did that time. But yeah, you get all these guys back healthy, big, huge cogs in the offense, man, and they're all back healthy for the first time this year. So
you get Ingram Dawkins back on the line.
Ingram Dawkins back on the line. So I mean, I think this is the healthiest Georgia's been all year, and that's exciting. That is exciting to see. So and you feel like Pop will be back. As far as, that fresh, as long as they figure out how to wrap that thing, you can't just put a club on it like a wrist or something, or a broke hand or whatnot. But I think we'll see him back here in the next couple of games. And unfortunately, Humphrey not going to. But we'll talk about that as we get there. But great night by the offense, man. Great night by the offensive line. I love the rotation of having Fairchild as a guard. Really played well. Tate Ratledge, of course, at the right guard, man. And then having Truss and Mims on the tackle. And then you could rotate Ernest Green in. And, man, a lot of guys, that's what's happened with the injuries, man, is you've had to force some guys to really grow up, some of these guys. Freeland, Monroe Freeland, some of these guys, Fairchild's done great. And, some of these younger guys, and now, they've got that experience and what you got going deeper into the season, man, and just play great.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Van Pran, the anchor there, just doing good. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
0 sacks allowed, 0 tackles for loss allowed the other night. I mean, that's an impressive stat.
I mean, we talk about it. Both sides of the trenches, man. When you dominate on both sides of the trenches, you're going to win games in this. And that's how you win games 52-17.
Right. And I think Lane Kiffin said this maybe in his post-game press conference. He was saying something along the lines of, a lot of people look at Georgia as a very defensive team, but this year especially, they're much more offensively powered, and we're just a balanced team, really.
Clark, I got a question.
Okay.
When's the last time you got a I don't got a Facebook. You got a Facebook, right?
Yes.
When's the last time you perused your Facebook, or we're not even going to just say your Facebook friends, not single them out, but let's just talk about just on the interwebs anywhere, and seeing people talk ill will about Mike Bobo.
It's been probably 9 weeks or so. I think a lot of people have shut up and learned their lesson. Not only about Mike Bobo, but Carson Beck. I remember people early in the season saying, "What in the world, Carson Beck?"
Let's toot our own horn.
Yep, we're going to toot it. Let's toot it.
Say, what were we preaching in week 2?
We were saying, don't freak out. This Mike Bobo coached offense is going to get it together. They're going to be rolling here soon. Good gosh, that is a loud truck, whatever that was.
Yeah, that was loud going on. Yeah.
Anyway, that's what we were saying.
And Carson Beck.
Yep. And look where we are.
Look where we're at now, man. But I had to say,
almighty.
but yeah, I mean, great for Mike Bobo, man.
Mm-hmm.
Offense elite, offense performance just elite, man. And but as far who I was proud of and the happiest for on the offense side of the football last night more than anybody.
I'm gonna guess Kendall Milton.
Yes, sir, man.
Yep.
We've talked about that. He's just so close. He's so close. With that. He was there at the Peach Bowl National Championship last year. Just saw it here in the middle of the season that he was just getting back healthier. And last night looked like the Kendall Milton that we knew that he could be.
Right.
And just a physical, strong runner, man. And shoot, if he keeps that up and is able to stay healthy and feeling good like he is right now the rest of the way, look out, man. Because now we have developed. We've gone from at the beginning of the year with a very banged up running back room with some question marks, and Rod Robinson and Andrew Paul and Cash Jones having to fill in and doing a great job doing it when called upon. But now you have a healthy Edwards and a healthy Kendall Milton, man. You have a great 1-2 punch. Yeah. A fantastic 1-2 punch.
You also
to complement all the other weapons.
Right. Going back to injuries, you have a healthy Roderick Robinson.
Yeah, and he's back now. That's right.
A healthy Andrew Paul.
Yeah.
You get these guys back. Going into the postseason, guys, this is huge.
It's huge, man. It's huge. And then you got the Swiss Army knife, Dylan Bell,
right?
You can put wherever.
Yeah.
And the depth in the wide receiver room. Marcus Rosemy Jack St. Clark, senior. Just want to talk about him a little bit. I think that's something that needs to be shared. Yeah, well, he'll make some big catches that when he's targeted. I think when he's targeted, he catches the football. Doesn't get a lot of targets because you distribute the football well. But one thing I've noticed about Marcus Rosemy Jack St. Clark, how great of a perimeter blocker
he is.
Is he, man?
Yeah, he really
He's one
is.
of the better ones that I've seen out there.
And that's something that's easy to neglect and not think about, especially when you're, thinking about offenses, wide receivers blocking. But that is huge.
It's a huge part of this offense.
Right, especially when you have your guys, when we like to stretch the field, outside your tackles, and you want to get those explosive run plays, or you're throwing screens to the outside, you've got to have perimeter blocking to make those plays work. And
that's right.
You're exactly right. Marcus Rosemy, he's one of the best to do that. I think Ladd is a good.
Oh, Ladd's a good one too. Yeah. But I mean, what I guess what I'm saying is, I think this wide receiver room knows their roles and what they're supposed to do, and it doesn't look like. And I'm not in the locker room, but just judging off body language. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, hard to believe, but just judging off body language, from the stands, man, it looks like these receivers know their role and the rotation and formations that they're in and what they're good at and what they're called to do by Brian McClendon and Bobo and the offensive staff, man, and they execute it well.
Yeah, and what's interesting? It's interesting that you're talking about this distributing the ball to different people. It seemed like early in the season, you didn't hear about Dom and Rah making catches, making plays, whatever. Right. It was really Ladd. It was Brock. It was more Marcus Rosemy, Jack St. Now it's kind of started to kind of trend differently. Right. And we are targeting Dom and Rah. But that's what makes this offense so freaking hard to stop is you really don't know what you're going to get. And we've got so many weapons and we can game plan so differently week to week. It's going to keep defense coordinators on their toes.
And I don't have any stats right now, but I know at the first part of the season we were talking about our woes in the red zone, not just punching it in for 6 in the red zone, Clark. And you think about it, you didn't have a Ladd McConkey then, you didn't have the running back tandem that we got now. But like I said, I don't know the numbers, but just thinking from common sense, it's got to be that we've drastically improved in that category, right?
Believe it or not, I looked this up last week actually.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure last week we were sitting at number 3 in terms of red zone offense. Yeah. And you say, what in the world? Yeah. And that does take into account field goals, right? We're scoring in the red zone, but it's not necessarily 7.
Right.
But it does take into account all those. So
I feel like there's more 7 but when you get in the red now than there was.
You're exactly right.
And I think that's because you have so many options. Because what can you do? Now that you're seeing offensive line play and these physical runs by Edwards or Milton to gain positive yardage or, scamper for about 10 to get in the end zone. Or you can throw a jump ball up to Rah or Marcus Rosen and Jack St., tunnel screen to Dom Lovett or Ladd McConkey.
You got back shoulder passes.
Yeah. Or you throw it to Brock Powers wherever, just let him do a little spot route right in the middle of the field at the goal line. I mean, there's so many different options and things to do. And Carson Beck said it best. He's got all his toys back in his toy box now.
Did he say that?
He did say that.
That's hilarious. Well, speaking of Carson, he had a great game. 18 for 25, 306 yards. Yet another game where he goes
kid special,
250 plus, and 2 touchdowns. Let's see, Kendall Milton. I'm just reading some numbers here. I think the best game of his career. What do you say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
9 carries, 127 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's 14.1 yards per carry right there.
Yeah.
Good gosh.
Yeah, Clark. So how many total? You got it broke down. You said 611 total yards. So how many total yards did Carson Beck or passing yards? Because what Vandegrift had one or two pass completions. So you can't. I want to know how many yards were on the ground. How many yards were passing through this Georgia team?
I think it was. Hold up, just a second. I can tell you.
Because I think if it's what it is, a good point is going to be made.
All right,
let's
look it up here.
We're going to make a point.
Rushing yards, we had 300 exactly.
Yes.
Passing yards, we had 311.
Unbelievable, man. That is about as balanced. We talk about balanced offenses.
Mm-hmm.
When you do that, when you throw over 300 yards and you run for over 300 yards and there's an 11-yard difference and you have over 600 yards of total offense, that's as balanced as it gets. Yeah. That's a defense coordinator's worst nightmare, man. Mm-hmm. Because when you can't make Georgia one-dimensional like that, that's what they're going to do to you.
Yeah.
Right there. They can do it through the ground or the air, man. And that's what you, as a fan, just got to get you excited going forward is you're just getting better week to week.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that truly.
I mean.
I want a couple more things I want to talk about with offense. First of all, Carson, man, he made some great reads last night. Yeah. And not necessarily throwing the ball reads. I'm talking about tucking the ball and getting some yards.
Yes, man, stepping up in the pocket and getting about 7 yards and getting in those second and third and three type, long
or first downs.
Right, or first downs.
Several first downs.
Instead of either throwing the ball away or either getting a sack and taking some lost yardage, man. Really see, he looks like he is so dialed in how he's seeing reading defenses right now. And you can just tell the confidence level every week is just getting more and more and more and more. He's no longer a first-year starting quarterback. No. The moxie, he has no moxie of a first-year starting quarterback now, man. And that's exciting going forward. And he just climbs up NFL draft boards more and more every week. I think scouts are paying more and more attention to him every single week. And the possibility of him even being a first-round draft pick this year is possible in a stout 2024 NFL draft class. Yeah. But we'll see how it finishes, man. But obviously, I want him to come back another year, and that's going to be a conversation way on down the road. Mm-hmm. But, man, if he keeps playing like he's playing, and, God, it's going to be hard for NFL GMs and a pro-style offense to be like, man, we need to get this guy.
It's going to be hard for the Heisman voters not to say, hey, maybe we should give Carson Beck a shot just to be in New York. I'm not saying he's going to win it, but the man has the numbers to win that award.
If it is, and we're getting a little premature right here, so I'm just going to say it for just a couple seconds, then we'll move on because we're going to be like Kirby Smart. We're not going to put the cart before the horse, right, and start talking about the what's coming in a couple weeks in Atlanta. But if Carson Beck outduels and outplays a certain other quarterback named Jalen Milroe in a certain game, Clark, that now has been established this past Saturday, and you're talking about Jalen Milroe now all of a sudden being the hot name to go to New York, how do you not put Carson Beck in front of him?
I don't know.
A week before the Heisman presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, unfortunately, didn't all the votes majority of the votes will already be in before the SEC championship, I think.
Yeah, but I think you're right.
Anyway, I don't know, but still.
Well, elephant in the room, Brock. Brock is back, baby.
Unreal, man.
I cannot believe it.
He's not human.
I truly believed leading up to this game, I thought, man, I've been hearing he's back running at practice. He's hitting 20 miles an hour on the GPS radar thing they got on the back of their shoulder pads. I was thinking, okay, yeah, I mean, I can believe that. But I could not believe my eyes when I actually saw him running routes pregame, looking full speed, fully dressed out, ready to go.
Dang,
I was like, my gosh, this guy's unbelievable.
He should be in a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Like Iron Man.
Okay.
Like the Hulk.
Mm-hmm. The Avengers, perhaps. Adam, have you ever seen The Avengers? It's the assembly of all those guys.
Like Batman and Superman.
That's DC.
Okay.
Marvel, you're on Marvel, Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America.
Yeah. Brock Bowers. Yes, that type of deal. Yeah, absolutely. So he's a superhero, man. He's he's just not natural. You know what Brock Bowers reminds me of, Clark, is when you used to play NCAA football back in the day, and you would create a player.
Right.
And you would create all the attributes up to 99, and cheat, and then he's just a stud dominating everybody on freshman level playing, right? So that's Brock Bowers. This is AI generated.
Yeah.
That's my new thing now is everything's AI generated.
Do you think Brock has 99 kicking power and 99 kicking accuracy?
Yeah, probably. I at least say it's 87, 88, 100%, man. I don't know. I'm not going to question anything that man can do.
Yep.
I mean, the character, though, and the attitude. Kirby Smart in his post-game interview, you saw that, didn't you, Clark? That
yes.
It said that Brock Bowers was ticked because people were calling him saying, you just need to sit out. You know, agents were saying that, and Kirby basically said them agents will not be representing Brock. And that even motivated him to get on the field more. Man, you don't see that in the game today because the game today, Clark, players are me. How many millions can I get where I could get my house?
Right.
Which is great. It is
good.
I mean, we need to get. I want everybody to get a house. I want everybody to get a Ferrari. I want everybody to get a Porsche. I want everybody to do what everybody. You know, I want everybody to do whatever they want to do with the money that they earn. Right? If it's
sure.
Porsche's, Ferraris, houses for loved ones, whatever. Right? I understand that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But Brock Bowers just being a team guy.
Yeah.
Big team, little me.
Yeah.
Big team, little me.
If I'm a scout, I see Brock Bowers. Obviously anybody with a functioning brain and set of eyeballs can see what he does for this team. But when you look at stuff like that and the attitude, that's what really sells. I feel like a lot of teams and GMs and that kind of thing. So
absolutely, and I mean, and now he can just prove. Look at how fast he came back from this injury, and he can go make more money and climb up the board even more, man.
He's unreal, and he had a great game. He had a touchdown pass, touchdown reception. Rather.
All right, so I mean that's been the debate. Now we've talked about it, seen it debated before elsewhere. Is he the best player in Georgia football history?
Whew. Let's see if he wins one more, and we can easily confirm at that point he is. I would think, in my mind, if we go on and if we go out to Houston, Texas, Adam, and we win a third national championship, give the man that accolade.
Over 34.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm there.
I've heard this before, this argument being presented, man, and I not take away either one of them because I've said both of them are great character. I mean, the integrity of both of them and the character of both of them and the humbleness of both of them. There are times on the field, man, what you heard about Herschel when he was here, what you're hearing about Brock when he was here, I think is what make them even more special, both of them. But people say that if you think, obviously love Brock Bowers, but like, I can't describe from the stories I've heard my whole life of what it was like seeing Herschel Walker play. Now, Brock Bowers is special too. Brock, obviously, and there's nobody in his league, man, but it's going to be hard to put somebody above 34, I think.
I don't know.
I love that we're even having this conversation. Somebody's even gotten to that pinnacle.
Exactly.
Because you always thought number 34 was untouched. You know, you grew up in the state of Georgia. You know, it was the people that just the history that you read about. It's Jesus in the New Testament and Herschel Walker.
Who's not mentioned in the Bible, but yes, I get what you're saying.
No, I'm talking about after biblical stuff. I mean, you do that. You establish that first, obviously, but then you go to the stories and legends of Herschel Walker. Running for 100 yards against Notre Dame defense.
And Herschel Walker is known as the greatest college football player of all time to a lot of people out there. Georgia fans aside, I mean, I understand. I mean, I get both sides of the argument, but
then,
I don't know, man.
A tight end freak like this. Can you compare anybody at the collegiate level that's been, I mean, Gronkowski wasn't this good at the collegiate level. No. Travis Kelce wasn't this good at the collegiate level. All these tight ends that's good in the NFL now and legendary or whatever. Nobody's done like Brock Bowers at that position. So does that set him above? I don't know, man. I think anybody's opinion on it, I really wouldn't just get mad and argue about it. I'm blessed that we are actually living in an era of Georgia football where there is a guy who could actually be talked about in the same conversation as Herschel Walker.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Let's move on to Georgia's defense. That's a good conversation there.
Just good chatter. Chatter.
Georgia's defense, I'm going to start with this. C.J. Allen, he stepped up in a big way, filling in for Pop. Man. Yeah. His sideline to sideline speed, we talk about that all the time. It's just deadly. Makes him deadly. And I think with more reps, he's going to be able to break on the ball a lot quicker, get on the outside edge, make plays even quicker once he gets more experience on that field.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's amazing to watch him because even when he's running sideline to sideline and getting guys that are out, whether it's swing passes in the flats, quarterbacks breaking containment, stretch plays or whatever, he might not be going and making the tackle each time, Clark, but his speed and his angles are making the ball carrier push even more further to the outside. And the discipline of the Georgia defense, then the DB might be crashing down at a better angle than him and stopping them. And you're just seeing hats flying around to the football, making plays, man. But I think Allen's creating a lot of havoc back there.
Sure is.
He's going to be a stud already, just playing great.
Yeah.
And Raylan Wilson as well, too, man.
Yeah, 9 total tackles and a sack for C.J. Allen. I just, God,
you
it's
know,
insane.
A lot of people were talking about Xavier Sorey, where he's been at. And I don't know what's going on with him. I think there's some stuff he's been dealing with because he had a good, first part of the year sometimes when he was in there. But these young guys, man, that have been in there, I think are special. Mm-hmm. They'll keep going.
Javon Bullard had a pick. Shout out to James Wilcox. What is going on? Sorry, something's playing in the background.
It's a Christmas jingle.
Christmas jingle.
Where'd that come from?
ESPN, listen, I'm on the ESPN right here on the website. And sometimes it will just randomly play an ad. And so that's what that was. Sorry.
Okay, all right.
You heard a little Christmas jingle.
Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it.
We love some Christmas on Row 60. Anyway, Javon Bullard, shout out to James Wilcox. He called that another night. And on our, we're going to call it Row 60 After Dark.
Yeah.
We had a little live stream on
segment.
Facebook and YouTube. If you didn't see that, be on the lookout this Friday night. We may do it again. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think we will do it again. It'll be late night, Row 60 After Dark. From the cabin in Pigeon Forge.
Yeah. But Javon, man, made a huge pick right before half. I think that really, this game, it was 28-14 at that point.
Yeah.
But that just demoralized them. Granted, we didn't capitalize on that because we threw an interception right before half. And but nonetheless, that was the one turnover that the defense forced. Thought it was a good play.
Yeah, man, I thought it was a good play. I loved how this defense settled down. You know what? 2 of the first 3 offensive possessions Ole Miss had, of course, the opening drive where we talk about. It's come a thing now that the opposition gets the first TD on the board against this Georgia defense. But it's just, nobody's calm. Nobody's, freaking out.
Right.
Everybody's calm and adjustments are made and they settle in, man. And then it's just it's lockdown mode after that. And in this case, did Ole Miss score 2 of the first 3 possessions they had?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Is that correct? So, and then after that, it was lights out until a late game field goal kind of when the game was out of hand. So, and that in itself, and a lot of people have talked about this defense, Clark, and I think this defense is kind of gotten a bad rap because it's compared to past previous year defenses. I think that the question's been thrown around: is this the worst defense of the Kirby Smart era? And
who's saying that?
That's being said
on the boards.
That's being said. Places I've seen it.
Oh, my gosh.
You talk about 2016 was probably the worst, you would say, but compare them to what you're seeing around the college football landscape right now, and not what we've seen in the past. I feel like, man, and I think this defense, Clark. What I like about them is I don't think they're staying stagnant. I think they're getting better every single week.
Yeah, I think we're starting to peak at the right time.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing, if this defensive line continues to improve and this defensive line the next few weeks gets to where they stop the run, then nobody in the country is beating. And but they're doing pretty.
Yeah, last night against Ole Miss, I thought we stopped the run extremely well.
How many rushing yards did Judkins have?
It wasn't over 100. I can tell you that. It was
not over 100.
No, hold up just a second. I'll give you a definite answer on that. But we crashed. We got, I want to say maybe 5 tackles for loss on Ole Miss, maybe something like that. Give me just a second.
It doesn't look as flashy and as sexy as it has past 2 years, right? Mm-hmm. But what you'd say. But when you look at the total numbers, Clark, this defense is really good.
Yeah,
and I think people were overreacting with some of the ill will towards it.
Yeah,
in a sense.
Quinshon Judkins had 22 carries for 75 yards.
Yeah,
granted, he did break off one, and he had a long of 15 yards.
Yeah.
That was their one big, huge, explosive play.
Jackson Dart had 112 passing yards.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we shut them down, and we got pressure.
That's right.
We got pressure.
That's right.
We forced
created
Jackson
some
Dart
havoc, man.
Yeah.
Contained them well too.
Yeah, we did.
And that was the big thing going into it. You don't let them just run all over you, get balance, and let Jackson Dart beat you with his legs. Georgia didn't do that, and we'll talk about it going next week. That's the thing too. So
I was really impressed.
Very proud of this defense.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the secondary, how they played. They
Yeah,
shut down Trey Harris pretty daggone well. I mean, he had
Pretty well.
2 receptions for 12 yards. That was it. Their best receiver, arguably.
Yeah.
Now, other guys stepped up, and they had a couple of 20, 30-yard passing plays, but really, it was limited.
It was limited. It was very limited, man. I think this defense is this secondary. We've talked about Dalen Everett before, and Julian Humphrey. I hate it for him, man, because I thought he was playing some really good ball. It was a questionable. I think it was a 50-50 pass interference call that he had. Now, you could say he turned the guy around. Sometimes that is not called. Sometimes it is. But he's put himself in good position. But with his injury, it looks like he'll be out a couple months and will not be available, but he was really coming on, man. So the cornerback spot's thin now, man. I think you got if something happens to Everett or Laster, you got Nyland Green probably on deck next, or AJ Harris.
Yeah.
Some of those guys, man, some young guys. So that's a position, that you get behind number 6 right now, man, and get fired up for him, because I know I've said stuff, but you look at him, man, you look at his physical ability and where he's at. I'll say this, man. Before he leaves the University of Georgia, he's going to be a good cornerback. A great cornerback. You think about Tyson Campbell, Clark, his freshman year, his first year starting, So I think he's going to get better, and we'll see what happens there, man. But yeah, very proud of him. Great defensive game, I felt like.
Yeah,
Christian Miller played well on the defensive line too.
He sure did.
These younger guys getting in there. I think Jordan Hall got some snaps too. And
Walthour played good.
Walthour had a heck of a game.
He sure did.
I think he had the best game of any D lineman, I would say, man. So yeah.
And shout out to Nazir. He had a sack. I think we got 2 sacks last night. One being C.J. Allen, then Stackhouse. It is Stackhouse. I almost corrected myself and said Snackhouse.
Stackhouse. No, Stackhouse.
Shout out to Rich Beck and his daughter. You remember him saying that his daughter was saying Snackhouse, calling Nazir?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
I love that.
That's right.
That's a great nickname.
No, that's good stuff, man.
Oh, man. But yeah, Georgia's defense played well.
When you limit a Lane Kiffin Ole Miss team to 17 points, then
pretty good.
It's good.
Yep.
It's good, man.
I agree. Georgia special teams, punted once, and Peyton Woodring. Those are my notes, literally.
Okay. Let me do another thing for senior night, man. We'll talk about how good Peyton's been. Let's talk about the backup place kicker, but the kickoff specialist, Jared Zirkle, Clark.
Yeah.
I thought there was a couple balls, man, that he pinned on like the 1 yard line that took some crazy bounces that Ole Miss had a hard time kind of fielding and deciding what they were going to do with it. That pinned them back a little bit. So. Or when he just booms out of the back of the end zone, he does it. I think he is a really good kickoff specialist. Number 99, Jared Zirkle. Just wanted to shout him out, man.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good point. There was one time specifically where he kicked it. Probably it bounced at like the 7-yard line.
Yeah,
and I was like, I said, buddy, are you going to return it? Like, what are you doing?
I mean, he was a little stagnant there. He didn't know what to do.
And that's
looked
the
like
idea.
His feet were in concrete
right. That's the idea.
Quickcrete.
That's the idea. I mean, do you return it or do you?
That's right.
Fair
That's what
catch
you want to do.
Right?
Put it in no man's land. See what happens.
Yep.
Good things can happen.
I mean, and that's the beautiful thing about a kickoff. Like, if you get down there quick enough, you might could return it on the 7-yard line.
Or old buddy might fumble around a little bit and kick the ball back towards you about 10 yards. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. Just create pandemonium, and I'm loving it. I'm here for every second of a kickoff return.
I hope we're not on that end of it ever. But yeah.
No. Or the best is when it just goes right through the old bread basket and bounces off a knee and falls forward about 15 yards. Oh, good times. Good times on the kickoff. But yeah, Jared Zirkle, man, from Texas.
Good job, Jared.
Senior night. Good job, Jared, man.
I didn't realize he was a senior, but I get, dang.
Yeah, man, it's been a long time. Time flies by, man. Life flies by. Life hits you fast. Life comes at you in a hurry.
Yeah.
And you just know, the days on that calendar, they just keep on turning, flipping.
Yeah. That went very philosophical very quickly.
That's why, again, embrace the moment. Enjoy the moment. That's why I said on the broadcast last night, Clark, or Saturday night, on the live broadcast. And I challenge folks to do this. If you got a buddy you hadn't talked to in a while, a family member, whatever, Georgia football is something that can bring us all together, right?
Oh, yeah.
There might be some ill will towards some folks out there with some friends, some family, whatnot, and but you might have a common interest in Georgia football.
Yeah.
Call them up, man. Call them up. Ask them how the family's doing. Ask them how life's doing, and talk about this football team.
Yeah. Did you watch the game the other night?
Did you watch the game the other night? What do you think about it? How do you feel about the next couple of weeks, man? We're going into Neyland Saturday. You know how Neyland is. Do you think, are you nervous we'll lose somebody to an injury because of what that terrible turf is up there? Get a conversation spark, man. That's what why we love this game so much, because the memories we create with our the people we love, man, and with the community that we have here at Row 60. So I challenge everybody out there to do that. Call somebody and talk ball with them.
Yeah.
Hadn't talked to in a while, man. Let it come full circle.
Yeah. If you call them, talk about these games. Michigan.
Yeah.
Well, look at that transition.
Love that.
Last week's games, Michigan at Penn State, 24-15. Adam, did you watch much of this one?
Yeah, I watched a good little bit of it, but I didn't see the end of it when Sharon Moore, Michigan's offense coordinator. Clark, did you see it at the end?
Yes.
He got so emotional, man. You would have thought, somebody needed to tell him that Jim Harbaugh is still with us.
Yeah.
He is still, in fact, living.
If you didn't see it, he broke down and just cried, and it was like sobbing. The guy was sobbing on national TV in this interview and talking about Jim Harbaugh as if he died.
He
or
was
something.
deceased or something,
Right.
man. I mean, or not with us or something going on. But what's infuriating me about Michigan, man, is they're acting like they're the victim. That they did not bring this upon themselves, right? And it's them against the world, all this stuff. Man, I would love nothing more than a date with the Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah.
Coming.
You know what's crazy? Excuse me. Michigan, I believe if they win this next game, they will have won 1,000 games in their program history. They will be the first team to reach that mark.
Well, good for
One
them.
more game.
Good for them.
Yeah. Good on them. Georgia's not far behind them, but anyway.
Hate them.
Yep. Alabama at Kentucky. Adam.
I called this in July?
Yes.
Well, in my thought process in July, Clark, I was thinking we would have maybe a 2-loss Kentucky team, lose to Georgia, and then lose another one they shouldn't have. Some momentum, Devin Leary clicking in Lexington, night. Snow flurries, 30 degrees.
Yeah.
Nick Saban, is probably on some blood thinners, so probably be pretty cold or something, right? Some type of medicine so he'd be uncomfortable in the environment. I had this all in my head, and it didn't turn out that way, Clark.
It sure didn't.
It didn't turn out that way. So it was a 12:00 game, sunny, and probably like 65 in Lexington, and Alabama just smoked them.
They did.
So I'll eat my crow.
That's all right, Adam. I like the confidence of that.
Yeah, not good. It was stupid. Man. But
Alabama rolled 49-21. They look good.
They look good. I mean, you hate to admit it, but they're peaking at the right time, man.
Yep.
They got a good defense, and Jalen Milrose getting more comfortable. Tommy Reese has adapted the offense to what the personnel he has, and not trying to put a square peg in a round hole, Clark.
Exactly.
So I mean, and you gotta you have to give them credit for that, and we'll see. Gigantic matchup coming up here in a few weeks with them, but definitely looking like they are a national championship team.
Yep. Can't count them out ever.
Definitely.
You can count these guys out. Georgia Tech at Clemson, 42-21. Clemson did win. I think did we both take Tech to win this?
I did.
I did. For kicks and giggles.
Yeah, just for the fun of it,
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
We'll move on. We don't care.
It doesn't matter.
Miami at Florida State, 27-20. Florida State won, and I'm going to tell you something. It was close. And Miami, man, they got hosed on the call.
Did they?
Because did you not see the safety?
No.
Jordan Travis was definitely sacked in the end zone.
Really?
And they did not call it a safety.
What?
Yep. And that apparently would have changed the game. That's the one highlight I saw of that game. But wow, I mean, they barely escaped.
Yeah.
But
So Florida State staying unbeaten, man. What, they've won like 16 in a row, now 10-0. What you think? You think that's going to be a playoff team right there?
I think you got to win the ACC to be in the. I think.
Well, yeah,
Florida
State
State
they're going to do that.
Yeah, Florida State has to win out, including the ACC championship. I think to make it, which very well could be Louisville.
Yeah,
who they play. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Florida State will win out. I mean, we talked about that last episode. We were going to talk about the college football playoff a little bit, but we hadn't yet.
Yeah. We may have
get
to.
to it.
Yeah, we may have to save that.
Yeah, we'll do an in-depth dive. Might have his own special show.
There we go.
All right.
Utah at Washington, 35-28. Washington, man, they also kind of struggled this game a little bit with Utah.
Yeah.
But they did end up winning. I didn't really watch much of this one.
Oh, Kalen DeBoer and those boys, man, they just find a way to win. Find a way to win. But, hey, could it come crashing down in Coral Vallis, Oregon next week, Clark, against a Oregon State team with DJ Uyunglele, Clark, who just put up 60-plus in the farm at Stanford.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm telling you,
I
Adam.
mean,
I'm telling you. We'll save that because we're about to pick it in just a minute. But, yeah. Tennessee at Missouri.
Ooh.
36-7.
Eli, man, he's been waiting on that one.
He sure has.
And that might be like Missouri's now natural rival in the SEC.
Sure.
Tennessee. I think it's an even series. We beat them too much for us to be a rival to them, right?
Yeah.
They tried to force the Arkansas rivalry, but honestly, they beat Arkansas too much. But this is a game right here that there's not a lot of good blood, doesn't look like.
No. Yeah, I mean, Tennessee ran it up on them last year.
They did.
They did. Put some late touchdowns on the board that were unnecessary.
Yeah.
I mean, heaving the ball downfield, and they got what was coming for them. 36-7, just beat down over the Vols, which knocks Tennessee completely out of the SEC championship. They were knocked out when we played last night and beat the mess out of Ole Miss anyway, but it's just funny, man. Preseason talk, Tennessee.
I love it.
Fans, God, we're getting to this. We're getting to this. We're inching closer.
Yeah, man. But Missouri's a great football team. You really got
are.
to tip your hat to them, man. And I think we'll continue to appreciate how good that 30-21 win was in Athens last week, because I think we're going to see Missouri's going to put a hurting on Florida. And then poor Sam Pittman, man. Probably, I don't know if he'll make it to the Missouri game, but but Missouri will be the death knell for him. Unfortunately, I hate to say that, if it's not already there. I think Hugh Freeze, brother Hugh, might have done that the other night.
Oh man,
unfortunately, but yeah, great team. I think Missouri could finish 10-2, and that's big for them over there in Columbia, and a pretty big bowl berth. Possible New Year's Six.
Very true.
Maybe
We'll
so.
See. Maybe a Peach Bowl. I could see him going Peach Bowl.
They could.
All right, Texas at TCU, 29-26.
Wow.
This was close. I said it was going to be
close. You called that, Clark. You called that, man. And Texas was up by like 20 in the first half, right? And TCU came storming back. Yeah. Unfortunately, on the highlight reel, I saw that our old dog, A.D. Mitchell, had a lot of nice catches.
Really?
Whatnot. Yeah,
Dang it.
Quinn Ewers came back. Texas, man, just finding a way to win. And it doesn't look like they'll have a rematch with Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship. I guess still a couple weeks of ball to sort that out, who will be there. I'm unfamiliar with what it'll be. But they're another team, man, just went out. They have a playoff spot. I mean, a lot of what ifs. And you always say there's pandemonium, Clark, that's going to ensue. But we're running out of weeks, brother.
We are.
Running out of weeks for that pandemonium to ensue.
But last year,
right?
Tennessee, South Carolina. Tennessee wasn't eliminated till this upcoming week.
That's true.
You're right.
You're right.
What, 12 or 13?
Right, man.
Whatever we're in.
Week
12.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, this week's pick'em. Louisville at Miami, 12 o'clock ABC. I mean, like I said, guys, there are not a lot of good games on this week. There just aren't, unfortunately. But this one is a relatively interesting matchup.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Who are you going to go with?
Louisville's lost, one game?
Yeah, to who was it? Who was
Notre
it?
Dame?
No, it was Pittsburgh.
That's right. Yeah, terrible. I mean, you think about it. Louisville could potentially have been in this playoff.
Yeah, 100%.
That's wild
man.
to think
the
about.
First year coach Jeff Brom.
Wow.
The favorite son over there in Louisville. We talked about him. A Louisville alumni, Jeff Brom, coming
Just
in
a real
one.
lunch pail kind of guy.
Oh, he is, man. Really blue-collar guy. I mean, the kind of guy that is you see his truck first thing in the morning at the facility and late at night, too. Last one to leave the facility, too. I mean, he's the last one to cut the light out, Clark.
Yeah.
In the building, right? Yeah. So that's the kind of guy you want to see leading your program.
Exactly.
And but you know what? I think Miami's going to beat them.
Really?
But I say this not knowing the quarterback injury situation, because I know their freshman quarterback got hurt late in the game, and Van Dyke had to come back in. And is he banged up?
Van Dyke got benched.
Oh, he got benched.
He's been throwing interceptions left and right.
Man, Alabama about wanted to get him in the portal.
Really?
This year, it's wild. Man, 2 years ago, he was a really, really big name And just the past 2 years, it's just slowly declined for him, man. I didn't know if he was hurt or so he was benched.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
I'm
still going to go with
almost
Miami.
positive.
I'm going to go with Miami, man.
Okay.
Because, I mean, Louisville was at home, big night game, barely beat a terrible Virginia Power 5 team. Right? And, I mean, you can't say it from one game to another. I understand that, man. But I'm still just going to go with Miami.
Okay. I'll stick with Louisville just because I like red and black. Sorry, Chris Johnson, if you're listening. He's a big Miami fan. Washington at Oregon State, 7:30 ABC. Washington, Adam.
Oh.
Do you like Washington to go into Coral
Vallis. Like the coral reef in Sydney, Australia.
Yes.
Right? Coral Vallis.
Okay.
I think DJ Uyunglele and the boys are going to be too much to handle.
Oh, really? Adam, I think you're right.
Beavers.
I think you're right.
And Coral Vallis, man, with Jonathan Smith and that program up there that they got, man. I mean, you got to really – I think that's his name. Yeah, it is Jonathan Smith. Jonathan Smith, his name needs to be thrown in the hat to some of these head coaching opens.
Like A&M?
Yeah, like A&M. Yeah, I mean, if they were smart – man, that's crazy. You know, for the next 7 years, Jimbo Fisher's going to make $26,000 a day.
I think it's 8, but yeah. Either way, it's ridiculous.
$26,000 a day.
Mm-hmm.
Unreal. I mean,
is he even fired yet?
Getting fired. Yeah, he got fired today.
Wait. Did he really? I know there are rumors
he is
of it.
Done.
Oh.
He is out.
Oh.
$77 million buyout, man. To get fired from your job, they hand you $77 million.
Man, I need to go be a head coach, do an awful job, and just go get fired.
Yes,
Sounds like your ticket right there.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I think somebody broke down the math that his first job was a Samford offensive coordinator at Samford and made $20,000 a year doing that. And now he is fired, not the coach, making $26,000 a day for 365 days for 8 years.
Jeez Louise, man. That's unbelievable.
It is, man. It's hard to believe, but the reason why coaches get that are idiots like us. Not that we're funding with the money, but just the passion of it with people that have the passion like we do, that do have deep pockets, are funding that kind of money and the revenue that it means. It allows coaches to do that, which is stupid, but, you know, we're part of the problem as people like us that just obsess with it. But it brings us happiness. Yep. But it's wild. It's wild. Yep. But anyway, yeah. So Jimbo's gone.
I think I'll stick with Oregon State. With you there, so
yeah, I just think Washington's defense, Oregon State's got a good offense, man, and they're gonna put up some points and win in a shootout.
I like it. Kentucky at South Carolina, 7:30 SEC Network.
Dang, man.
Huh.
Ooh, I'm gonna do something.
What are you gonna do, Adam?
Shane is going to be wild after this game.
Oh, is he?
Because him and Mark Stoops got some beef.
Do they really?
Got some beef, man. Yeah. Old Mark made fun of the sunglasses that, you know, the video that Shane did last year at the SEC Media Days where he had the microphone, the sunglasses. Stoops made a comment, you know, kind of a straightforward type guy, Clark. Like, we're not going to wear these shades and do this, all this hoopla, right? Yeah. Old school type mantra, if you will. And I think Shane Beamer's going to beat him again. It's going to be wild.
Wow.
I think Kentucky's just... Whew.
They're rough. They're in rough shape, man.
I mean, South Carolina's in rough shape too.
They are.
But
I mean, this is a battle of the
I think that was demoralizing because Georgia defined how big the gap is between Kentucky and the top dog, and then Alabama came in to their house and defined it even more. And I think some people in Lexington are realizing that they've hit their ceiling.
Yeah.
You all right, Carl?
Yeah, I'm it's okay.
Get it wrapped up, brother.
Yeah,
get it wrapped up, baby. I mean, look. We need to get the energy level up. This is big.
Yeah, I'll get there when we talk about Tennessee. I'm saving it to that. I'll stick with Carolina too. Good job. Shane Beamer. Whatever. I don't care. I don't even care enough. Let's just get this over with. Texas at Iowa State, 8 o'clock Fox. Adam, this is one big upset of the week.
No.
I want to take the Cyclones. I don't even know what their team looks like this year, but it always seems
their offense is awful.
It always seems like Iowa State somehow just manages to beat somebody they shouldn't at their place.
When they had Brock Purdy and Breece Hall.
Maybe.
You know, two NFL guys.
Yeah. But
starters, yeah, maybe so, man. Maybe so.
8 o'clock Fox, man. I don't even know where.
Yep. It could be, but I'm going to go with their offense really not scoring. I'm probably supposedly the best defense in the Big 12, Texas. Texas wins it.
Okay.
In Ames.
Ames. All right. Yeah, I was about to say,
Boom.
what's the college town in Iowa State? All right. Time for some trivia.
Oh, boy.
Georgia, Tennessee trivia, Adam. I got 3 questions per usual.
Oh, boy.
You ready for this?
You might stump me this week. All right.
No, I think you got this. I think you got this. Can you name the last 3 quarterbacks who have beaten Georgia?
Crap.
Think about it here.
Last 3 quarterbacks for Tennessee that's beaten Georgia. Josh Dobbs.
Okay, that's one. He beat us in 15 and 16,
right?
So that's number 1. Yep.
And then we lost to them in 09. Jonathan Crompton
is number 2.
And 09. And 09 was, yeah. So, and then it would be in 06 would be the 07 Eric Ainge.
Boom.
Yeah.
3 for 3.
Yeah.
Nice, Adam.
Yeah.
See, you got this. There
we go. That was good.
Yep.
Jonathan Crompton, man, that 09 game, they kept running that on the Willie Martinez defense, those little play action rollouts, and they had these rollout routes on every level of the field. These just out routes. And just,
pigtails.
Yes, and it just all day. Dinked and dimed us all day with Jonathan Crompton. It was miserable.
Oh, man.
That was a miserable day. Miserable day.
We went up to Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge, had a cabin like we always do, and they're like, "We'll do this year." And Adam, for some reason, I said, "I'm just not even going to go to the game."
In 09?
Since 09, yep.
You were up there too?
Yeah, we went
That's
up there.
right. You were up there with us, yeah, because your sister was twirling.
That was one of the first trips to Tennessee we went to.
Yeah.
Anyway, got up there. I was just like, I'm not going to go, and I'm glad I didn't because we got absolutely boat raced.
Yeah.
So
that was bad, man. 07 was bad too. Wide receiver reverse pass, they killed us. 07, 09 were a blur. 05, 03 was my favorite trip down there, man. When we won 41-14. Sean Jones picking up that ball. They're about to score on the 1-inch line. Time runs out. He picks up the ball and takes it 99 yards.
Oh, yeah.
Neyland Stadium, you could hear a pin drop in it. It was beautiful. David Green had a big day. And, that was when Tennessee was still in their heyday, man. And, yeah, I mean, it was a big win. Beating them, I mean, the Hopnail boot in 01 broke the curse up there. And 03, though, solidified it, beating them 41-14. And I was age 10. I was there, and it was a great night. Great night.
That's awesome.
So, good memories up there.
Oh, yeah. And some
more
bad
so
ones.
than bad ones. But, yeah there are some bad ones.
In 2019, Georgia pummeled the Vols 43-14. In that game, we had a strip sack recovered for a touchdown. Can you name the player who forced the fumble and the player who scooped and scored the fumble?
Yeah, I think. Eric Stokes.
Yep.
Forced it.
That's
Brian
right.
Maurer was the quarterback.
Yes. Yeah.
Came in relief, I think.
What a forgettable name.
Tay Crowder?
Tay Crowder.
Picked it up.
Yep.
Yes.
Scooped and scored. Nice.
That was fun, man. That was just the icing on the cake right there. Put the cherry on top of it,
Exactly.
Pour salt in the open wound, Clark. And those old Tennessee fans behind us, they couldn't take it.
No.
They could not take it.
That old lady sitting there,
They're
she got
the
so
worst fan base when it comes to losing. And
They're
just
very
like
sore
pitching
losers.
Oh,
Yeah.
very sore
Yeah,
losers.
yeah.
I mean, we've had a confrontation every year we've been up there.
And we're not confrontational.
No. We're just making joyful noise and celebrating our team's success.
Yeah.
They can't handle it.
Yep. They're just jealous.
Yeah. I mean, and all, we've men, women, no children. We don't do that. But men and women of all ages from, young adults up to grandpas, man. We've had encounters with up there.
They're, man, I can't stand them.
It's a rough environment.
Last question I have for you. Name the 5 winningest SEC football programs in college football history in order. So top 5 SEC football programs who've won the most. In order.
Alabama's number 1.
Alabama's number 1 with 962 wins.
Georgia just passed Tennessee, didn't
We sure did.
Yeah, so Georgia, then Tennessee.
Georgia, then Tennessee. Yep. You say you got 1, 2, and 3. For the record, Georgia has 878 wins. Tennessee has 874.
Yeah, I remember. I saw that it was just past them. Is LSU 4?
LSU's actually 4, yeah.
Yeah.
840 wins.
Man. And then I guess Auburn 5.
Auburn is number 5.
Yes, yes.
Adam, I don't even know why I do this. You just go.
I really was.
I'm going to have to get some really tough questions.
Because I was about to say Florida, but they just started playing football in 1990. They really didn't know football existed down in Gainesville, Florida, pre-1990.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it couldn't have been them. That's why I was sitting there thinking, trying to do my addition. Could they have slipped in there? But, yeah, okay. Awesome.
Good job, Adam. Man, I'm going to have to pick some different, like some really challenging questions. I thought these would be kind of challenging.
Like I said, I wish I could do this and actually like get paid to do it. You know, like make a living, pay bills off of this knowledge that I got stored in my head, taking up brain space that could be stored in other things that make me money, right?
Yep,
you know.
Yep. Oh man, Georgia versus Tennessee.
Boom!
Here we
Let's go.
Crank
it up, baby.
Take this marker.
Crank it up.
You're
Put the cap on it before it gets dry.
This marker sucks. Anyway.
Crank it up. Toss it off the set.
Oh, man.
Toss the.
Yeah.
Let's go.
53rd meeting.
Game, man. Love this game. Love this game. All right.
53rd meeting between Georgia and Tennessee. Georgia leads the series 27-23-2. Georgia opened this morning, Adam, as an 8-point favorite against the Vols, which is really surprising to me. Only 8 points, but it's actually shifted to 10 points as we speak. And by the time you guys listen to this, it may be like 11 or 12. I don't know.
How about that, man? How about that?
So Tennessee enters this match.
Go
7-3 with losses to Florida, Bama, Missouri.
Yeah.
2 of those we've already beaten.
Yeah. Yes, that is a so 27-23-2 series. You know, people would have thought that Georgia and Tennessee would have played a whole lot more, but they didn't start playing every year until the 90s. You know? I mean, it's very rare when Georgia and Tennessee played back in the day, you know, and when that was happening, man, the whole 90s decade, Georgia never won.
Yeah, it was bad.
I mean, I think they reeled off 9 straight. And it was a rough time for the people who had to live and endure that. But what Georgia's done so far in this century against them, man, it's been fun.
Sure has.
It's been fun. And Clark, we got to do it. It's a 3:30 kick.
Okay.
And for the last time in the Row 60 podcast, because obviously, we'll have one more.
Oh,
in the SEC championship.
Yes. Well, this is the last regular season.
This is the last regular season that we will ever do. And we'll have one more after this. And then we put the bum
to bed
in a box. We tape it up and we put it in the attic.
Yeah.
Stored forever. So, all right.
Are you ready then?
Georgia, Tennessee, 3:30 CBS kick. Bing. Strong.
That was a good one, Adam.
Does it make you a little bit sad?
A little bit
emotional.
A little bit, but
a little bit emotional.
I will say, if you know this, if this stuff happened in 2010, like the end of CBS, SEC, CBS, if it were 2010, I'd be much more sad than what I am now.
I just think, man, but honestly, when I associate the CBS intro, it ties into this game. I think of the 05 Georgia-Tennessee game. And I think of Thomas Flowers taking that punt return back and how big of a game and how much that meant to me as a 12-year-old. And because, I mean, going to Neyland still, it's always tough. But back then in them days, man, it was brutal to get a win up there. And old Thomas Flowers, he caught that ball at the Tennessee midfield, and he was running. We were in the upper deck in the end zone. He was running to there in 05. And it was a cold, overcast day. But going back and, like, watching the replay of that, hear the bum, and then, like, when Georgia came on the field, locked arms, that's kind of when I hear the bum, it takes me back to that broadcast of that day, man. Yeah. And just special childhood memories, man. I love it.
Yeah. Let's talk about this matchup a little bit. Tennessee's offense got Joe Milton, just the gunslinger he is. He has put up some pretty good numbers. 2,283 yards, 16 touchdowns, 5 picks this year.
Bazooka Joe.
That man can throw it a million miles. May not be able to hit a guy in stride.
But golly, he can throw it 80 yards, flat-footed. Right? I mean, that gets you in the NFL. That wins championships, right?
Yeah. It wins you games.
That wins you Heisman
It beats
trophies,
Missouri.
Right?
Yeah, it beats Missouri and Florida and Alabama. Yeah.
That's right.
I'm bitter towards Tennessee. I mean, I don't know. There's just something about them I don't like. And I mean,
because they're just they're a fan base, man, that really, what's the last time they've done anything? They're 1998, you know? We can say that now. That's great.
Yes.
They're 1998. They have not
It
won a
counted.
national championship in the 21st century.
Yeah. They have. They've only won. No, wait. Have they won it? Yeah, they won an SEC championship in.
Wait, no, they have
they
not.
played.
No, they have not
They
won
played
a national.
for one
They
in
played for
07.
one in 07 and got beat by LSU. They played for one in 04 and got beat by that Auburn team that went undefeated.
That's right.
That
Yeah,
won
yeah.
a Sugar Bowl but didn't win a national championship. And then in 01, Clark, they were the odds-on favorite to probably be the national championship winner with Casey Clausen and Nick Saban and LSU upset them to win the
yeah,
SEC championship. So they have not won an SEC championship in this millennium.
How many? I
It's
wonder.
amazing. And only 3 bursts.
Yeah, I wonder how many
amazing.
times they've actually played in a New Year's Six Bowl. I know they had one last year. We all know that. They're going to let you know that. Can't be that many though.
No, it can't. It can't. I mean, really, when you think about the history of this Tennessee program, especially from the year 2000 on, the early
relevant.
2000s, they were relevant in the middle of it, but right when Phil Fulmer left, man, they nosedive. I mean, then you get the Derek Dooleys, the Lane Kiffin for 1 year, Butch Jones experiments, man, and I don't know. It's just it's a fan base and a team that you just love to hate because I feel like the arrogance of them. I feel like that is the worst crowd interactions we have every other year when we go to Neyland Stadium.
They're awful.
I could name every year. You say whether it's 2013, 15, 17, 19, 21, an instance where we had an altercation with a Tennessee fan.
Yeah. And once again, we're not confrontational people.
not bringing it upon ourselves just because we were there in red and black, right? And you know, I mean, that's what you get, and we're not going to complain about it because that's what you open yourself up to going to an away game in Georgia gear, right?
So if you are going this week, just prepare yourself. Just prep.
That's right. That's right.
You may want to.
I mean,
add some extra layers of protection.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, they're walking around with Orange Bowl champion hats on. It's just cute.
It's cute.
It's cute.
Oh,
It's cute.
man.
They sit there. They wrote a book about their season last year.
Oh my gosh! And they didn't do anything. They won the freaking
They won
Orange
10
Bowl.
games. Oh, what was that we were in Pigeon Forge in the summer, Clark, that they had on their had on?
They had like a peach, not a peach bowl, an Orange Bowl logo, championship logo.
Yeah.
What did he do?
That's right. Yeah, like I mean, really celebrate the 10-2 Orange Bowl season.
But now they will make you think they're going to kick your tails.
That they do. That they do.
And that's
That they
what
do.
gets me.
I mean,
Anyway,
think about who we dislike in Tennessee, man. I do not like it's football time in Tennessee. Who's that announcer? John Ward. Is that his name? I think. Very inferior to Larry Munson.
Yep.
Because Munson would talk, oh, we stepped on their face with a hobnail boot and broke their nose. We just crushed their face. David Green brought us flying down the field. Talk about it. And we handed off to Herschel. There's a hole. 5, 10, 12. He's running over people. Oh, you Herschel Walker. My God almighty. He ran right through 2 men. Herschel ran right over 2 men. They had him dead away inside the 9.
my God, a freshman.
My God, a freshman. Oh, and Jabari fumbled. And we dive on the ball, and we pick it up, and we got a man running on the 30, the 25, the 40, the something, and he's got blockers behind him. Sean Jones going all the way. Sean Jones all the way. Ha ha. Oh, he picked up a fumble and ran about 99 yards, and he had 6 blockers behind him. Yeah.
I love that, Adam.
That was, yeah.
Only you can do stuff like that.
2003 Tennessee, 2001 Tennessee, 1980 Tennessee. So I'm saying it's a historic place to play. It's special. People love it. People love it. Oh, we don't like Heath Schuler.
No.
We don't like Peyton
Eric
Manning.
Ainge.
We don't like Peerless Price. We don't like Jamal Lewis. We don't like Eric Ainge. We don't like Tyler Bray. We don't like Jawan Jennings. We don't like Joshua Dobbs.
We don't like Derek Dooley.
We don't like Derek Dooley.
No.
I mean, he might be on the list of one, but yeah, I mean, Butch Jones, any of these guys that wore that gaudy
Hold on
orange.
now. I kind of like Butch Jones
do you
just
like
because
Butch
he's sucked.
He's
terrible.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. That's and then
He was a champion for life,
Philip Fulmer is trash.
Okay, then tell us how you really feel.
Stabbed Johnny Majors in the back to get that head coaching gig there. I mean, really went behind him, Clark. I mean, Johnny Majors Johnny Majors was a Southern gentleman, I think.
Was he?
Maybe.
Did you meet the guy?
No, I don't know if he was a Southern. I don't know if he was from the South or not. But a gentleman. Let's say call it a gentleman.
Okay.
But yeah, and he got done wrong by Phil, man. He got done wrong by and Phil Fulmer cheated. You know, like back in the Jeremy Pruitt era. I mean, the gold of the Jeremy Pruitt era. Old Phil Fulmer was out there back in his Tennessee attire with a whistle, like coaching up the O-line, like in 2019 when he was the AD.
Yeah.
When the idiots put him as the AD, I mean, just the debacle that was. Like out there coaching the Tennessee team, trying to relive the glory days of 1998.
And they lost to Georgia State.
Yeah,
That's what they had to show
it was just
for it.
gold, man.
Oh, yeah.
Those days right there were
Priceless.
oh man. So you just think about just what they stand for, Clark. Mm-hmm. Irrelevance.
Trash.
I mean,
Man, we're talking a lot of trash about these guys. We better
it's
beat them.
warranted.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
warranted.
Whether or not
So
we beat
everybody
them,
listening to
it
this
is
podcast
warranted.
feels the same way about
That
it.
is true. Unless you're a Tennessee fan.
Woo!
All right, back to this matchup here. Let's
Sorry,
talk about,
I'm getting off the rails, man.
Let's talk about the offense. Number 0, Jalen Wright. He's going to get the bulk of the carries. He's got 117 carries this
Don't care if he
year.
does get the bulk of the carries. His rear end is going to get planted in the Neyland Stadium turf, baby.
All right.
Boom! Let's go!
I think.
Crank it up.
Hold up just a second. I think we did something there.
Oh, did we? Make one of those sounds right there.
Are we just going to make a sound?
Yeah, just make a sound. Boom! That's right.
We need to use those more often. What does this one do?
That's what that's going to be spinning in those Tennessee running backs' heads, thinking when they see big C.J. Allen, baby, that big Tyron Ingram Dawkins, baby, that big Smile Munden, baby,
Yeah.
and Jalen Walker crashing off the edge when they get the
They're going
heck beat out of them, baby.
Jalen Wright's going to get the football in the backfield. He's going to hear this.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
They're going to be creeping in on them.
This
like
has
Freddy
become
Cougar.
unhinged.
Like Freddy Cougar.
What does this one do?
That's what the Neyland Stadium fan base is going to be doing at the end of the game.
Yes. All right, a few more. What does this one do? Jalen Milroe throws a pick six.
Yeah.
And then this one. That's what Georgia fans are going to be doing.
in the upper level.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're going to be loud. All right, one more.
That's right.
What is this one?
Nah, that's what Georgia fans
laugh
gonna be
track.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah, just waving goodbye, jingling keys. Man, how have we never used these buttons?
I love that. That's what we're going to be doing, laughing, telling them, hope they have fun in the Music City Bowl.
That's right, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Jalen Wright, though, he's their running back. A few more guys to talk about here on offense. Dylan Sampson, Jabari Small, they'll also get some touches. That's kind of who the names are. And then
Does
on the
Dylan
perimeter.
Sampson have long hair? Like long
I don't
dreads?
know. If so, we need to make sure somebody cuts it. Yeah,
That's right. Take away the
power.
yeah.
On the perimeter, they have several key targets. Some of them are injured. Brew McCoy.
Yeah, I hate
one
that,
of-
man.
yeah.
He was a stud. That definitely has affected their passing game in all seriousness. I mean, on a serious note. Right?
Sure. Another guy, Adam, I may be related to you. Deontay Thornton
Brother
Jr.
Dante. Yeah.
Yeah. Hurt last week against Missouri. So, I mean, they've got some injuries that are making it tough for them in some ways. But they do have a couple more guys. Squirrel White, he's got 49 receptions, 609 yards, sophomore receiver. He's kind of their main target, who they'll be throwing the ball to.
Squirrel has got to be from Sevierville.
Oh, he's got to.
Got to be, man.
Yes. Pigeon Forge.
About
area.
as East Tennessee
As it gets right there. Yeah. And then another guy, Ramel Keaton, senior receiver, 6'3". He's kind of their 50-50 guy. So,
all right, man.
I mean, and then what this Tennessee offense is going to do is they're going to spread you out.
They're going to run the football.
They're going to try to run the football. They're going to – it is such a – I don't know, it's such a gimmicky offense, if you ask me.
Yeah.
It was last year.
Cheese puff offense, man.
Well, it was last year. But this year, they do run the football. They're going to try to.
They're physical.
It's way more – yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it's much more heavy on the run game this year.
Yeah.
As opposed to the passing game. I mean, they'll still take shots.
Right.
They're still going to try to get you out of position. That's what they like to do. They're going to run a lot of tempo. They are 54th in the nation passing offense, though, but they are 8th in the nation rushing offense. So we're going to have to stop them on the ground. That is the main thing.
The key. Just leave it right there. If Georgia's defensive front steps up, man, and limits these backs having a field day, and you make Joe Milton throw the football to beat you, it could get ugly or not. That's the key. That to me is the key in difference of a tight game and a rowdy environment, man, and Tennessee hanging around and knowing what can happen or really kind of just putting it to bed early,
Right.
you know, and in a sense is what this Georgia defense, how they contain the run, and also how they contain Milton from extended drives or just getting cheap yardage by breaking containment, getting out of the pocket with his legs, because he's a scrappy guy, man. He can get out there and scamper a little bit.
And I think they're going to be banking on, especially with Pop being out, getting guys like C.J. Allen, Raylan Wilson, those guys out of position,
Right.
and then taking Joe Milton, and he can run. They've been doing this since the Alabama game. Joe Milton will start to run. I mean, he's athletic. He can beat you with your legs, extend drives. You got to make sure that he's contained. That's huge this week.
You're
You're exactly right. It starts at him up front, defensive line. If we can successfully stop the run, I think we'll have a field day.
It's a field day. It's a field day. That's the most glaring, obvious Like that's it right there. And if you don't, then stuff can happen.
Right.
Stuff
and they can be two-dimensional, and they
right.
can beat you on those deep
And
throws.
everybody knows if you're able to do that, if they kind of get balanced, if they put some points on the board, the longer they stay around and the kneeling crowd as night creeps in, man, weird stuff can happen, right?
It sure can.
So you just put it to bed by doing that, man. Limit that and then let the offense roll. But one thing, you hit on it, Clark, that what Josh Heupel's going to do, he's a good offensive mind, man, is he's going to find the matchups against these, even in the passing game as well, against these younger linebackers. And when they take shots, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, man, they're gonna shoot at number 6. Yeah. And this is a big game for number 6. Step up, because I know they're going to try to find some targets and try to get some cheap yardage and some big explosives downfield, pushing the ball with Milton with the receivers matched up against him, and then try to exploit some stuff with these young linebackers in there. So it's time for these guys to step up. You stop the run, man. The defense can have a field day and a very, very fruitful afternoon. In Neyland Stadium.
I think it's going to be very important too for our corners to get off blocks. I mean, because they're going to nickel and dime you to death with these screens, these little bubble screens. You got to get off a block this week. You got to attack. I mean, sometimes it's not necessarily just get off the block. It's attack, take the block head on.
That's right.
And free up another guy to make a tackle.
You're exactly right, man.
We got to do that, the little things this week, because the little things do add up in these kinds of games. And
they do.
If you're not careful, you're exactly right, Adam. If you let them hang around, this Tennessee team can beat us
on the road in the SEC, especially in Neyland Stadium. I mean, and they're a good football team. You know, as much as we talked about them, Josh Heupel, as much as we talked about Josh Heupel have on the board, he really has done wonders for Tennessee. Better as far as advancing further than the last few head coaches.
He's done wonders keeping local pancake houses in business too. Yeah, that's terrible.
Oh, but you should have heard us try to come up with that. But no, in all seriousness, Josh Heupel is probably the most likable Tennessee coach that's been there in years.
I guess.
I mean, I don't have any ill will. Besides just coaching Tennessee, I don't have the ill will towards his actions like a Shane Beamer or Drinkwitz.
Sure.
But, of course, it's elevated because he's the head coach of Tennessee wearing that orange, right? And but as far as, he's a good offensive mind, man. And they run the football this year. Stop the run. Stop the run.
Stop the run. Very, very important.
Went up front. Dominate that offensive line for Tennessee. It's going to be big. Defensive front. It's a good day for Trey Scott's boys to show out, man.
Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Tennessee's defense, just right quick, they do have a pretty solid rush defense. I mean, their front seven is drastically improved from last year.
That's right.
Which is not saying a lot because they were horrible last year.
Yeah.
They're 30th in the nation in scoring defense. I mean, they only allow about 20 points per game on average. But you saw what Missouri did to them last week. Missouri ran the football. Granted, I do think they have the best running back in the SEC in Cody Schrader. He showed out. I mean, he had 200 rushing yards, 100 receiving yards.
Yeah.
And we got a healthy Kendall Milton, guys. We got a healthy Dejon Edwards.
That's right.
I don't think we're going to have any problem necessarily moving the ball offensively.
Healthy offensive line with the Marius Mims play. Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right.
I mean, we may
it may excited.
I know. I think the crowd's going to get into it, and they will affect this game to some extent. But I think once we settle down, it might be a slow first quarter. It might look like it always does, where Tennessee. Ooh, here we go, Tennessee.
They did in 21. They marched down.
They
the field,
did 2019. I feel like they.
I think
maybe.
I know they did in 2021. They marched right down the field and scored a touchdown.
And everybody's thinking, "Oh gosh!"
And the stadium is
gets rocking. Yeah. But if you're this Georgia offense, you just got to move the ball. You got to lean on the running game, I think, and
that's right.
And then that will open up a lot. And hey, once again, we got number 19. We got number 84. We got number 2. These guys are healthy. They're ready to go. So
Clark, you make them pick their poison, man. If they're going to stack the box, Carson Beck is going to have guys man-on-man coverage, man, and he's going to loosen that box up.
Exactly.
And when they're forced to loosen that box up because they're getting just picked apart through the air, then you pound them on the ground.
Exactly.
And that's where I love the weapons in this arsenal for this Georgia offense, what Bobo could do with them and Beck, man, and how dialed in Beck is. And I think that's going to be the thing. We're going to see what's Tennessee going to do defensively. They're going to stack guys in the box. Are they going to bring a lot of extra pressure? And then I think, they'll just get picked apart through the air. And then when it loosens up, like you said, what happened last week, then boom, just I'd love nothing more, man, than, get a lead in the second half, play Kirby ball, play bully ball, and just run it down their throats and kneeling, and they know it's coming, but they can't stop it.
Yeah, and I think this all plays into our favor because, they run a lot of tempo offensively. Their time of possession is dead last in the nation.
Wow.
They rank dead last, 130th in FBS because they just run so much tempo, and it can be either really good or really bad, right?
Right.
And we saw this with Ole Miss last week. Ole Miss does the same thing. They run tons of tempo. They want to get to the ball quick. They want to run as many plays as possible. But once you get stopped, you're going to wear your defense out. And over the course of the game, you saw what we did against Ole Miss.
Yeah.
We ran the freaking football, man. And that's exactly what we're going to do this week if we can stop them offensively. I think that's the matchup right there. What is Georgia's defense going to do against Tennessee's offense? But
yeah, I agree.
Also, another thing, one more weakness about Tennessee, they rank 126th in the nation in penalties. They average 85 yards per game in penalties. So that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's bad. That's
good
bad,
for us,
that's
bad for them.
That's undisciplined, man. So
maybe that will play.
And what that tells you right there, Clark, is what Georgia does so well on both sides of the football on the defensive line is, it's unbelievable how you don't see other teams utilize this, and I don't understand why the defense, the ship before the snap, that always gets a good false start. Every other game or so at least, or sometimes every game. It depends, and then on offense, just being able to draw the defensive line off sides and get a quick shot at the end zone, free play, right? So Georgia's so good at being disciplined enough on both sides of the football that they could get free yardage with teams that aren't disciplined on the other side of them, right, Clark? So that's what tells me is you can see Georgia doing some of the stuff that they like to do. That they could either take advantage of, draw them off sides, and take a shot downfield that might be more than just the penalty yardage you get, and also get them to back up some.
Yep.
And on their offense, man, with getting a false start.
Oh, yeah. All right, Adam. Score prediction time. I think we've kind of talked all we can about Tennessee.
We talked about our feelings. We'll let the people know what we think about the University of Tennessee.
Yeah.
And, man, I'm excited about this one.
Me too. It's going to be a fun weekend. We're traveling up to the game, so y'all be sure to make sure you're following us on the social media stuff, Facebook, Instagram. We'll be posting some more stuff. Hey, if you want to be a patron, we're going to do some more stuff in the coming weeks for our patrons, Row 60 patrons. If you're not a patron, you want to be one, go to patreon.com/Row60. You can download the app too and just search Row 60 and find us. It's $5 a month, and you're going to get some cool exclusive content.
That's exactly right.
All that to say, I'm excited about this upcoming weekend, Adam. I'm feeling pretty good about it. It's always kind of nerve-wracking going up to Neyland.
It is, man.
I gotta be honest.
Always will be, man.
But
you easily get beat. But.
Yeah, you could. But I feel good about this team and where we're at. We're peaking at the right time. Things are starting to come together for the Dogs in a new way. So I'm going to go with Dogs 34-20. Dogs on top. What say you, Adam?
Woo! I love it, Clark. All right, man. Well, here it is. Georgia's 10-0. 10-0 again, man, heading into Neyland Stadium. Big rivalry game, getting close. Two big rivals stand between Georgia and perfection for a third straight regular season, man, which means going into a big matchup in Atlanta. SEC East champs again. Don't take that for granted as being able now that every first Saturday in December, it seems like we get an extra football game. Georgia's playing for the SEC, dominating the East, man. But, hey, let's don't have a blemish on this record. Let's finish it out. Let's beat Tennessee, Clark. Man, Georgia does not lose in Knoxville anymore. Since 2015. 17, 41-0. We talked about this. 19, Clark. What was it? Like 41-14?
Yeah, something like that.
21, like what? 41-17? Something like that? 41-10. So, what? Kirby Smart owns Neyland Stadium.
Yeah.
Kirby Smart owns Neyland Stadium. the athletic director, Josh Heupel, they pay rent, Kirby Smart, to be able to use it every fall Saturday, Clark. So, hey, let's go up there. Let's take care of business, man. This is a game that you get juiced about because you hate Tennessee. Georgia could be, man, I don't know, lost 5 games right now, but we would still get juiced about this football game because it's Tennessee, because you remember stuff that happened. All the older Georgia fans remember it in the 1990s. Remember when it was just Tennessee and Florida for the chance to go to Atlanta, Clark. Now it's Georgia going to Atlanta all the time, and those other 2 teams are looking at Georgia and as they just dust right by them, man. That's where we're at right now. The heartbreaks and everything that we've had in Athens or Neyland against this team, the series has completely flipped, man, and let's keep our foot on their throat. Continue dominating them, Clark.
Let's do it.
Continue the domination. Continue letting them know that they have peaked, that last year was the pinnacle, that their book that they got of the revivals, Clark, that 10-2 Orange Bowl champions are the best they're going to get because Kirby Smart is here and he's going to stay here for a long time. And the SEC East is going to be owned by the University of Georgia, even though this is last year's division. So the SEC is going to be owned by the University of Georgia. Clark, Georgia's going to win this football game 38-17,
yes,
baby.
Sir.
Hey, you know, it's going to be one of them deals, man. A Tennessee team comes off a bad loss, Georgia emotional win. It doesn't matter. 38-17. Dogs on top, 11-0 going into Atlanta to the joke by Coke the week after to finish out the regular season. It is great to be a Georgia Bulldog. Yeah. Get fired up about this game with family and friends this week. Enjoy the moment. We love y'all. Go Dogs!
Go Dogs! Ooh, 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 ooh.